The Timeless Isle, known for its eternal sunset, was once a sacred place for the Pandaren. It was where tests of wisdom, hope, strength, and courage were held in front of the mighty Celestials, where warriors and future leaders proved their dedication to following in the footsteps of the great Emperor Shaohao. The Pandaren monks, in their pursuit of balance, coexisted peacefully with the nearby Yongle, followers of the fiery demigod Ordos. Suddenly, the island disappeared. Some ancient texts suggest that the Timeless Isle has appeared and vanished throughout history, sometimes a mere shimmer in the distance, occasionally reappearing in different spots. Unlucky adventurers who set foot on the island during these fleeting moments were swiftly lost to the timeways, never to return. But now, the island has reappeared. The Isle is a lush paradise, covered in dense forests that resemble those found in the Jade Forest. The waters of Ruby Lake have a peculiar reddish tint, possibly due to the presence of ruby crystals deep within the island's mountains. On the other hand, the lowlands are mostly deserted, except for the Celestial Court, where Pandaria's inhabitants gather to witness the trials of the August Celestials. The Hojin and Tushi Pandaren have set up camps on the western shore, but they have been advised by the Celestials not to venture further inland. With Emperor Shaohao being a big part of Pandaria, I wanted to cover his backstory here. Legend has it that Shaohao received his education at Tian Monastery. As a prince, he formed a close friendship with the Monkey King. When he was crowned emperor 10,000 years ago, Shaohao was a young and inexperienced Pandaren, oblivious to the challenges that lie ahead. During his coronation, a monk from Kunlai gifted him Shay Lun. It's the monk mistweaver staff that you get in Legion. But Shaohao failed to grasp its significance or recognize the monk as an emissary of Zhuan, the White Tiger. Mistaking the staff for a mere decoration, Shaohao assumed he would lead a life of luxury and tranquility, unaware of the impending changes in Pandaria's fate. In accordance with custom, he consulted the wise water speaker, the Jinyu, for guidance. However, instead of bringing good tidings, the water speaker revealed a grim prophecy. A powerful kingdom of sorcerers was summoning demons from a deep well. Green fire was falling from the heavens, and the continents of the world were on the brink of destruction. Lost in despair, the Emperor made his way up the unforgiving slope of Mount Everest, his spirit heavy with despair. The icy wind tore through his elegant attire, mocking his journey. It was only when he reached the summit that he found peace and solitude, where he communed with the Jade Serpent, embodiment of wisdom. The Jade Serpent advised Shaohao to release his burdens, cleanse his soul, and unite with the land. Confused by this guidance, the Emperor descended the mountain, seeking answers from his ally the Monkey King, clutching Zhuan's gift. And so he returned to the Jade Forest, still searching for clarity. Shaohao sat in meditation for 3 days and 3 nights, seeking guidance from the Jade Serpent. Frustrated by the lack of clarity, his mischievous companion, the Monkey King, crafted a mask of doubt out of bamboo. Despite the Monkey King's playful intention, the mask proved to be effective. As Shaohao removed the mask, his doubts materialized into the Shah of Doubt. After a grueling battle lasting 7 hours, the Shah was defeated and buried at the Temple of the Jade Serpent. With newfound clarity, Shaohao embarked on a journey to cleanse himself of negative emotions, visiting each temple of the August Celestials. In Krasarang Wilds, he encountered the Shah of Despair, but with the help of Chi-Ji, he was able to free himself from its grasp. Shaohao pressed forward towards the Serpent Spine and the Dread Wastes. As he gazed at the Mantid lands beyond the towering wall, a wave of fear washed over him, freezing him in place. The Shah of Fear gripped his mind, rendering him motionless. However, Nia Zhao, the Black Ox, appeared to show him that fear was just a mental barrier. With newfound determination, Shaohao broke free from the shackles of fear and continued his journey. He even managed to rescue the Monkey King from the Mantid's grip by using sap to trap them, bringing his Hosen companion to safety. Though the Monkey King was initially angry, Shaohao reminded him that the true enemy was the Burning Legion. With unwavering resolve, Shaohao felt prepared to confront the might of the Burning Legion, free from fear, despair, or doubt. But he didn't want to face it alone. He desired to have an army under his command. So he ascended Kunlai and continued his journey to the Temple of the White Tiger, where the most dedicated fighters in the land trained. These warriors were skilled in combat against the Mantid and all Pandaria's adversaries. Shaohao approached them confidently, demanding their submission to his authority. Juan, the white tiger, noticed that Shaohao carried his coronation gift, Shay Lun, but it seemed to be nothing more than a mere walking stick to him. The white tiger also observed that the emperor had let go of many dangerous emotions, except for his anger towards the legion that had made him impulsive and reckless. Juan presented a simple challenge. If Shaohao could strike even a single one of the monks, he would have complete command over the soldiers. Shaohao accepted the challenge and swung Shay Lun repeatedly, but he failed to hit any of them. The monks were too skilled and easily evaded his strikes. Shaohao's humiliation and anger grew until they exploded. Darkness surged from within him, and in his rage, Shaohao snapped Shay Lun over his knee and unleashed the power of the Sha of anger, as well as the Sha of hatred and violence. When he regained his senses, he discovered that one of the monks lay dead, a victim of his unchecked aggression. Witnessing the emperor's heartbreak over the life he had taken, Juan watched as Shaohao humbly knelt, accepting his failure and vowing to rid himself of anger forever. He realized that he fought for the sake of his people. Now, he was prepared to fulfill his destiny. He took one half of the broken staff with him and embarked on his journey to the Vale of Eternal Blossoms, ready to save Pandaria. As he ventured into the Vale, he took the initiative to establish the Shadowpan, a vigilant force dedicated to safeguarding against the Sha threat. The experience transformed the Emperor, shaping him into a being of unwavering faith, bravery, patience, love, and serenity, a radiant embodiment of pure light. As the final day drew to a close, the sky ignited with an eerie green blaze, causing the very ground to tremble in fear. Yet the Emperor remained undaunted. His heart was devoid of uncertainty or desolation. Amidst the sky's violent rupture, he revealed and sang joyously, witnessing trepidation and uncertainty in the eyes of his subjects. Shaohao imparted the wisdom of cherishing each day to the fullest and finding solace in unburdened sleep each night. Legend has it that as he entered the Vale, every tree burst into bloom, a sight that continues to amaze to this day. Shaohao, the great emperor, sought to ascend to the Terrace of Eternal Spring, a place that would separate Pandaria from the rest of the world. However, despite his efforts, the ground refused to budge, leaving him filled with doubt. From the east, the Sha of Doubt emerged, while from the west, the Sha of Fear broke free from its restraints. In his desperation, Shaohao called upon the Jade Serpent Yulon for assistance. Yulon revealed that Pandaria was more than just the Pandaren Empire. It was then that Shaohao realized the interconnectedness of all things and the true nature of his beloved land. Though he couldn't separate Pandaria, he could protect it. With his staff, Shay Lun, in hand, Shaohao merged his spirit with the land, surrounding it in a mystical mist. As the world tore itself apart, Pandaria quietly drifted into the ocean, hidden from the rest of the world. Shaohao's pride, however, remained, cloaking Pandaria in the mist as he believed his people were superior. The Emperor's staff was eventually discovered by the monks of Tian Monastery and safeguarded in the Terrace of Endless Spring. In the transformed Pandaria, the role of an emperor remained a relic of the past. The Pandaren people had learned to rely on themselves and their communities, embracing a more fair-minded society. The absence of a central authority figure allowed for a greater diversity of voices and perspectives, fostering a spirit of innovation and collaboration. While Emperor Shaohao's disappearance initially caused upheaval and uncertainty, it ultimately led to a stronger and more resilient Pandaria. As the conflict between the Horde and the Alliance intensified, the Darkspear Trolls initiated an uprising against War Chief Garrosh Hellscream. The renowned brewmaster, Chen Stormstout, played a key role in this rebellion. In the midst of the chaos, Chen made a decision to uncover the mystery behind how the mists of Pandaria had cleared, allowing Hellscream to exploit the continent's resources. He enlisted the help of adventurers to locate an old seer named Ho Fam Ru, whom he had encountered during his journeys and who was knowledgeable about Emperor Shaohao. In the snowy peaks of Kunlai Summit, the adventurers stumbled upon Seer Hao, who was struggling to keep up with the trail of the last emperor on the treacherous slopes of Mount Everest. Recognizing his need for assistance, Shaohao humbly implored the adventurers to aid him in reaching the pinnacle, where the path continued. With kindness and patience, the adventurers supported the elderly Pandaren, who shared his wisdom and tales from the past along the way. Finally, they arrived at Seeker's Point, only to discover that Shaohao was none other than the spirit of Emperor Shaohao himself. The arduous journey served as a profound lesson, revealing that even the most formidable foe, pride, could consume and corrupt if left unchecked. It was a reminder that old adversaries must unite, and proud races must acknowledge their need for help. As the lesson concluded, Shaohao gracefully vanished, bidding farewell with a respectful bow. In the depths of the ocean, nestled off the shores of the mystical Timeless Isle, lies a forgotten relic of the seas, the Barnacle. Once a proud frigate, now sunken and shrouded in mystery, but the story doesn't end there. Every so often, the waters around the Barnacle come alive with the spectral echoes of a bygone era. It's the Battle of the Barnacle, a haunting spectacle where the ghostly crew, led by Captain Zvezdan, clashes with the relentless onslaught of skeletal warriors commanded by the notorious Rattleskew. The clash unfolds in 3 tumultuous waves, each more intense than the last. Amidst the chaos, brave adventurers dare to join the fray, seeking glory and treasure. For those who emerge victorious, the spoils are legendary. Perhaps the fabled Captain Zvezdan's lost leg, a relic steeped in history, and a timeless armor piece imbued with the essence of the isle itself. Perched atop a solitary peak far above the swirling mists of the Timeless Isle lies the fabled Ordon Sanctuary, realm of Ordos, a formidable Yongle demigod of fire. Once reachable by the fiery path of the Firewalker's Bridge, now fractured and lost to the ravages of time, this sacred abode remains a beacon of mystery and danger. In a tale ripe with discovery, the intrepid trio of Chen and Lili Stormstout, along with Caitlin the Blade, soared above the sanctuary's peaks, their eyes alight with wonder. It was there, amidst the billowing clouds, that they beheld the awe-inspiring figure of Ordos himself. Yet even from their lofty vantage point, they witnessed a constant stream of adventurers flocking to the sanctuary's precipice, drawn by the allure of battle and the promise of glory. Lili's keen observation captured the essence of this relentless pursuit, as warriors from far and wide braved the perilous ascent to challenge the mighty demigod. Generations ago, when the shadow of the Ordon Yongle loomed over the large tranquil village of Paiju, its inhabitants faced a dire threat unlike any before. In a stroke of bold creativity, the villagers rallied, erecting a towering keg at the heart of their village. When the first light of dawn, the village square lay silent, save for the gentle sway of the lanterns and the faint echoes of revelry now past. And in the midst of the aftermath, amidst the dregs of celebration, a curious sight befell the weary eyes of the Yongle invaders. For there, beneath the morning sun, stood the village's bold testament to resilience, the towering keg. A symbol of Pandaren unity and unwavering resolve. And as the still drunken Yongles stirred from their stupor, their gaze fell upon this unlikely monument, stirring something deep within their hardened hearts. In a moment of unexpected clarity, fueled by the lingering spirit of the night before, the Yongle begrudgingly agreed to a peace treaty, their animosity tempered by the shared revelry of the hours prior. In the wake of chaos and calamity, the tranquil village of Paiju found itself besieged by an unexpected menace, the mischievous Brew Elementals, whose frothy rampage left Pandaren homes in ruins and its inhabitants fleeing for safety. Years later, when Chen, Lili, and Caitlin the Blade pressed forward along the ancient Firewalker's path, their journey fraught with peril and discovery. As they traversed the worn cobblestones, Chen regaled his companions with tales of Paiju's storied past, revealing how its once vibrant streets had fallen silent, not at the hands of the fearsome Ordon Yongle, but at the whims of the skunky Brew Elementals. Now, the way it's talked about in the wiki is basically the village was under attack by the Yongle, and instead of fighting or anything, they yelled, "Get the keg!" And then everyone got drunk, including the Yongle, and the next morning just agreed to peace while still hungover. That's how I understood it. That's how I understand it. And that's one of the funniest things to me, that during the battle, someone's first thought is to build a keg in the middle of the village, and hope that the enemy will get drunk with them and not kill them while they're drinking or afterwards. But I don't see any other way of how they would explain that, and they don't have any extra explanations for that, so that's what I'm going with. They all got drunk and they agreed to peace. But let's move on. Nestled along the southeastern shores lies the mysterious enclave known as the Croaking Hollow. It is within the depths of the hollow itself that true peril lies, for here dwell the venomous guardians of the marshlands, the poisonous frogs. With gleaming eyes and lethal tongues, they watch over the coveted sturdy chests scattered across the isle. Offshore, a pirate ship awaits, its timbers weathered by time and tide, yet still harboring secrets untold. From its mast hangs a gleaming treasure satchel, a tantalizing prize tempting fate's daring souls to brave its decks and claim their reward. But perhaps most intriguing of all lies beneath the waves, hidden from prying eyes, yet waiting to be discovered. An unnamed cave, its entrance obscured by the ebb and flow of the tides. Within its darkened depths flickers the eerie glow of a grim campfire, its flames whispering secrets of distant lands and realms unknown. For those bold enough to venture forth, sit down next to the campfire and you can be taken to Gorgrond. In the wake of the Dragon Isle's awakening, Chen, Lily, and Caitlin the Blade continued their quest across Pandaria. As they reached the murky depths of the Croaking Hollow, Caitlin's keen gaze caught sight of a distant ship, its hull laden with untold riches, shimmering like a beacon in the fading light. Yet as excitement bubbled within Lily's spirited heart, Caitlin's voice rang out with a caution born of experience. With a flick of her pocket spyglass, she revealed the ship's true colors. The dreaded ensign of the South Sea freebooters, notorious plunderers of the high seas. In a moment of impulsive daring, Lily's laughter danced upon the wind, teasing Caitlin for her reluctance to seize the tantalizing prize. But Caitlin's steely gaze held firm, her words a stark reminder of the harsh realities of the pirate's life. For in the treacherous waters of the Croaking Hollow, where shadows lurk and danger lies in wait, every glimmer of treasure is but a siren's song, luring unwary souls to their doom. 40 years after the dark portal dawned upon the world, amidst the hallowed grounds where challenges awaited, the air crackled with an electric energy, infusing the very atmosphere with a sense of vibrant anticipation. As the challenges commenced, the once quiet arena transformed into a bustling hub of activity, alive with the hustle and bustle of eager participants and curious spectators alike. From every corner, the intoxicating aromas of exotic brews and sizzling street fare wafted through the air, tantalizing the senses and beckoning weary travelers to partake in their delights. Above, the heavens danced with a kaleidoscope of color and sound, as fireworks erupted in a dazzling display of pyrotechnic prowess, casting their radiant glow upon the jubilant crowds below. And amidst the tumult, colorful kites soared majestically against the azure backdrop, their graceful movements a testament to the boundless imagination of those who dared to dream. So since I've mentioned Ordos a couple of times, I wanted to quickly go over him, but there really isn't much more to him than what's in the adventure guide. The only thing extra is presented in the Exploring Pandaria book, where Lily, Chen, and Caitlin the Blade go around Pandaria and explore it and talk about various things that have happened and are currently going on within Pandaria at the time that they're exploring. And with Ordos, the only thing of note is that Lily spots adventurers continuing to come and fight him, but they don't mention that the adventurers actually kill him, so within lore, he's still alive. Now, the adventure guide states that Ordos was once a shaman of the Yongle who sacrificed himself to the flame, following the promises of the Fire Lords, in order to become a demigod. His flesh is eternally seared with fires, putting him in endless agony. Yongle firekeepers ritualistically set themselves ablaze to emulate the ascension of Ordos, and cast enchantments and prayers to ease his pain. And that's basically all there is to Ordos, but I plan to do a video talking about the Yongle or add the Yongle race on part of another video within Pandaria, so there'll be more talking about them in the future. And that's going to do it for this one. Hopefully you did enjoy. And all of the Shahs that Shaohao expelled, Shah of anger, violence, hatred, Fear, all of those are various bosses that we actually beat throughout our ventures through Pandaria, and some are even in raids like the Siege of Orgrimmar. So all of those Shaws do come back to where we have to actually fight them and take them out. Some are just done through dungeons, some are through quests, and then others are actual raid bosses. So they're not just in the lore and that's it. But either way, hopefully you enjoyed. There was probably some more stuff I could add to it, but Timeless Isle, there really wasn't a whole lot on it. And these were the areas that had the most interesting lore. Still, it's kind of what I went with, but yeah, I'm hopeful that people enjoyed it. And with all that said and done, take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next one.